What's going down, everybody? Welcome back to another top 5 in 5 right here on Commander Cookout. We're going to do it a little bit different today. We're not doing 5 cards. We're going to do a bunch from Wilds of Eldraine, the Enchanting Tales extra cards. These are similar to the Mystical Archive cards we saw with Strixhaven a little while back. Before we get to it though, don't forget you can pick up all these cards and much more at fusiongamingonline.com. Use CCO Summer promo code to get a discount, or CCO Perks if it's your first time and you're spending over $100. You're going to save money either way. Big thanks to all the Patreon supporters who support the channel over at patreon.com/CCO podcast. Hop on over, great community, Discord access, invites to the CCO experience, fantastic time for all. Now, let's get to the first card. My first card, Parallel Lives. This is one that's needed a reprint in a meaningful way for a good long while. It's expensive. It sees play in all kinds of green decks, token decks. It's half a doubling season. Stay tuned for that one. Next up, Repercussion. This only has a foil from a Secret Lair, which I don't think is a very meaningful reprint. So now we've got one, a couple different art styles. We've got the fairy tale style and the anime style. Again, similar to the Mystical Archives that we saw in Strixhaven. Set specific style along with anime style. So you could take your pick however you want the card. Here's a reprint in a meaningful way in foil. Next up, a favorite of mine in my Boros deck, Land Tax. Like all the cards so far, and a bunch of them in the future, we're looking at $20, $30, $40 or more for some of these cards that are all Commander staples. Give me those cheap enchantments, those cards that see play in casual and competitive play. Give them to me in foil. Give them to me in a meaningful way. Next up, we've got Aggravated Assault. You don't even want to know what the foils of these from the original printing are worth. We've seen them in foil in a Secret Lair, but again, meaningful reprint. We're gonna open these in booster packs of Magic cards. We're gonna open them in the LGS. We're gonna get boxes from fusiongamingonline.com and open them there. We're gonna open them at Magic Cons in Las Vegas. Come find CCO there. Meaningful reprints. Next up, Commander staple, I think far and away past all the other cards we've looked at so far. This is Rhystic Study. People say this card's good, it's going to draw you cards. Put it in your deck. Find a creative way to ask people if they're paying the one. Put it in your deck, draw cards, Commander staple. Fantastic art when you look at the Enchanting Tales version. Super cool, glad to see this one. Speaking of cool art, this is like storybook wheel spinning. I think, is there a pizza oven in the background of the Enchanted Tales one? I don't know. I famously called this card bad back in 2019. Now it's one of the mainstay white staples of Commander. We've got it here. Meaningful reprint. Get them in your decks. Again, be creative in what way you're going to ask people if they're going to pay the 1 or the 2 or whatever with these kinds of cards. Make them interesting so it's not just monotonous, are you going to pay blah, blah, blah. Fantastic art, great card despite what I said way back when. Happy to see the reprint. Get them in your deck. Now, here's a card I've never played, I've never cast, I don't even own one of these. This is Fiery Emancipation. Triple damage. This is one of the only cards in Magic that lets you do triple damage. It goes in your burn decks, it goes in your damage decks, your aggro decks. It goes in so many kinds of decks, and we've only ever seen like one printing of it. Commander staple, happy to see it back. Cool art. I keep saying this Enchanting Tales art is cool, but I really do like the style. I love the Throne of Eldraine frames, the aesthetic, the everything, and I love that we're seeing so many important Commander staples. This is what we've been asking for years and years and years. Give us meaningful reprints in packs that make us feel good as Commander players to open up packs instead of just buying singles. Packs are fun. Let us open fun cards in them that we actually care about. Our second to last card, only ever available in foil in Shadowmoor. So again, I don't even want to know what those foils are worth. This is Polluted Bonds. Fantastic art in that Eldraine frame. Cool card. Punishes lands decks that we see so many of. Kind of goes in that group slug style deck. Control decks that you can play in black and red and or other colors. Great card to see printed in a supplemental kind of version like we're seeing here. And finally, the final card that I want to talk about today. Continue to print at WotC. We need them every single set. They're only ever getting more expensive. This is doubling season. Fantastic new art with a goose on it. Terrifying for us Canadian players. Staple card, tokens, Super Friends, counter decks. Decks of any color, as long as they have green in them, probably want a doubling season. Love to see it here. Love to see all of these Enchanting Tales. Love that there's an anime version for people who don't like the fairy tale stuff. I'm going to open some of these in packs that I get from FusionGamingOnline.com, where I used CCO Summer promo code to get a 5% discount. And if I'm buying a whole bunch of stuff and it's my first time, CCO Perks promo code, you're going to get 10% kickback in store credit onto your account. Final thank you goes to our biggest supporters on patreon.com/CCO podcast. You can see a list of their names along with our totally medium editor right now.